More than 2 lakh new advisors join insurance industry business every year, but only 6 to 7% become successful. And the biggest reason behind this is advisors gets limited to their friends and family, often called as their natural market. Going beyond your friends and family is an important step, which opens up new opportunities for an advisor. There are various ways in which people start to generate leads outside the national market, like the cold calling, door to door, social media, website marketing, health camps, etc., etc. All of them work very well. But in my experience, one thing that works the best is gathering referrals. In the servicing business, word of mouth plays an important role in establishing your brand. This brand can open up new opportunities as referrals. Mastering this art of generating referrals can really accelerate your business. So Niva Bupa has created this specific expo focused on harnessing the power of referrals. I am Ankur Kharbanda, Chief Distribution Officer at Niva Bupa, and with me I have three superstar advisors who have mastered the art of referrals. Let me introduce all of them to you. Let me first introduce Mr. A.K. Subramanian, who is a certified financial consultant, and he's 23 times MDRT, continuous MDRT, 6 times TOT advisor. A TOT advisor is an advisor who does 6 times the amount of MDRT qualifications. He's an entrepreneur at heart. Post his 20-year stint with PSU Bank, he started his business since 2000. Welcome, Mr. Subramanian.
Good morning. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity. See, I started my career as a clerk with Indian Bank. I was a clerk with Indian Bank for 20 years. There was a voluntary retirement scheme introduced. So I was always very passionate about my work. My father was a government servant, so he always insisted that I should be a government servant. I will get pension. So I left my pensionable job and came out. My last salary drawn was only 15,000 rupees after 20 years. Today, I earn 1,000 times of what I was earning. I was taught only two things: highest integrity and highest transparency by my previous managing director. That I followed, and I'm so happy that I'm one of the top consultants across the country.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you very much, sir, for the introduction. Very happy to host you here. Thank you very much for coming over here. And I've been told that you're fantastic. Your business grew because of you understood the key, which is the referrals. That's where you have become so successful. And now our second guest we have is Mr. Yogendra Agarwal, a CEO club advisor with Niva Bupa. Apart from being health insurance specialist of Niva Bupa, he's also the top advisor for general insurance and life insurance companies. He hails from a business family and he has been working in insurance since 2002. Welcome, Mr. Agarwal.
Thank you. My introduction to insurance was purely accidental. Met a gentleman who had done PhD in risk management. And when he suggested that this is a line we should look at for our expansion, I was pleasantly surprised. And his answer to me was that you have answered your question yourself. He says the void which is there amongst the intermediaries with knowledge is what I'm asking you to fill. And there has been no looking back since then till today. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much for joining us today, Mr. Agarwal. And our third guest and panelist is Mr. Gokul Srinivas, a founder, CEO, club advisor with Niva Bupa and a founding member of the team. He has more than 20 years of work experience and run his firm with the name of Insurance Tree. He's a chemical engineer and postgraduate in computer science. Thank you very much, Mr. Gokul, for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Ankur, for the introduction. I, after my engineering, wanted to become an entrepreneur. Believe it or not, I went into the liquor field. That is when from one shop, I had 18 shops. So one of my clients came and told me, you're such a people's person, why don't you become a, advisor. Imagine a guy who comes to buy a drink with me. He came and said that. I said, what, you want me to become an agent? Because in the year 2000, we used to have only LIC agents. So no, you'll be an advisor. See, whole thing has changed. And like Mr. Yogandra said, there was no looking back after that. This is how I am. And I am in organizations called BNI, Rotary, and some more organizations, which actually helped me to come today in the panel to, tell people how to use referrals. Thank you, Mr. Ankur.
Thank you very much, Gokul, for joining and sharing your story as well. And thank you everyone for joining this expo. Today's expo is a very special expo. What we'll do is we have 3 of our guests. We will have it in a question answer format. And I'm sure जितने भी आज लोग आए हुए हैं उनको आज बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा, because one of the aim Niva Bupa has is that how can we give more and help our people, help the insurance community to learn more so that they can grow, because one of our agenda is that we want people to grow with us. तो पहला क्वेश्चन अग्रवाल जी आपके लिए है, सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन है, just to start our show is what is a referral? सबको बताएं referral होता क्या? हम सब बातें करते रहते हैं, but what is a referral?
Referral is when one of your acquaintances or your existing client refers a person to you. And the best part of this is, just for it being a referral, 80% of your job is already done. I've seen the kind of effort which is required to convert a referral into a business, and a cold calling case to business cuts down the lead time by at least 80%, if not more.
Excellent. Thank you very much for sharing that.
And another thing which it leads to, which we have exploited beautifully, is a referral, getting you further referral and taking it to a series. So we have a chain of up to 5. So a referral gave a further referral, who gave a further referral, and so
on. Thank you, Yogendra ji. This was quite insightful. Let me now get into Mr. Subaraman. Mr. Subaraman, what is, from your perspective, is a referral?
I would like, मैं एक ना story share करना चाहता हूँ for a referral. I had put a stall in Coca-Cola. The entire day I was sitting in the stall alone. Only at 2 o'clock, one person came. He was general manager of Coke. So we had a good discussion. And उसने बोला, Subaraman, tomorrow can you come again? I said yes. He said, you come to a cafeteria, I'll give you a stall, you sit there for a week. From one person, what I did, it was New Year Eve. So I had made table calendars. That table calendar, he said, give me 75. I'll put in all the, jo bhi har table mein main aapka calendar rakh dunga. So that's why next day when I went, I got more people. Now I have 75 clients from one person. He referred me to 75 people. In Coke, if they ask for insurance, they will give my name.
Awesome. बहुत बढ़िया. तो आपने एक community पकड़ ली, which is a Coke का office, and then everybody started giving you reference, and everybody knew your name there. Thank you very much for sharing this. Gokul, what is a referral?
Referral is not a person who just gives you a name and says, call that person. No. A referral is where that person has called and informed that person and told about you and then given that reference. So what happens the minute you call, that fellow says, yeah, Mr. Gokul, tell me, Mr. So-and-so had actually called and told me. So please let me know when you can come and meet me. That is a referral. Otherwise, it becomes a cold call, Otherwise, that guy will not know who's calling. He will say, no, I don't know you. He didn't tell me. That doesn't become a referral.
Excellent.
And of course, there are types of referrals. When you actually ask the question, Mr. Ankur, I will explain on that. Thank you, sir.
Excellent. No, beautifully told by all of you. And in fact, a referral is an art, as all of you are talking about. I'm thinking about referral is an art, and I'm sure all of we'll come about more of the things in terms of how do we learn this art. But पहले एक छोटा सा question सबके लिए, एक second का. Yogendra ji, what percentage of your total business comes from referral?
I would say between 99 to 100%.
99.
And in fact, when I was approached for this today, it has been an eye-opener. So far, we have been only doing business of what referrals fall into our lap. We have never
Awesome.
made an effort to obtain referrals. And this is going to be my agenda as soon as we've ended this meeting.
Let me go to Mr. Gokul and ask him the same question. What percentage of business comes from referral, Mr. Gokul?
100% from BNI, 100% from Rotary, 100% from Lions Club. The reason is, I tell them, if you don't refer, imagine you're a friend, you're a family member, you're a colleague, so many things, relationships are there. Imagine somebody is in the hospital and says, Arey Baapre, I had to pay 5 lakh rupees for my hospitalization. And you have a fantastic, Reassure 2.0 from Niva Bupa. Don't you feel guilty? So you better tell them, buying, not buying is their, decision. But introducing somebody is more important. So
very important point.
When I say, no, you introduce me, but no obligation to buy. Thank you, Ankur sir.
Very good statement which you made. Very good example which you gave. Let me now get on to the next question, and I'll ask Mr. Subaraman about this. Mr. Subaraman, why are referrals so important in insurance sales? That such high percentage of your businesses comes from referral.
Actually, it is the confidence level. See, the people who have dealt with me from the first 5 years, so they feel that I can be of use to the entire society. So they keep referring me to a lot of people. I have one big historian, Dr. Mahesh Rangarajan. He's a very famous historian. I used to do his mother's job. She used to put small fixed deposits and all. He was studying in Oxford University. When he came back, mother said, Subaraman ko help karna. So that's this how he helped me so much. He gave me 36 professors, all top professors across the world. So that is the first, he will always say a man of very high integrity. So that is the main thing, is the confidence level. Once they deal with us and they are confident, they want us to refer to few more people so that everybody is benefited.
Sure. So what you're saying is customers buy from companies and advisors that they trust. Niva Bupa is on a purpose to give every Indian the confidence. Thank you very much for sharing that. So customers buy from companies and advisors that they trust. Niva Bupa is on a purpose to give every Indian the confidence to get access to best healthcare. And Niva Bupa, to generate trust in health insurance, is doing a fabulous initiative of recording its customers' voice. Let me play a very strong customer testimonial to show the power of this campaign.
2019 में दुर्गा प्रसाद त्रिपाठी जी मेरे घर आए और मेरे से हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस की पॉलिसी की बात करी और मैं उनसे सेटिस्फाई हुआ और मैंने उनसे पॉलिसी ली। मेरे पास ये हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी थी और मुझे एक आस थी कि यार कभी भी कोई भी विपरीत स्थिति आती है तो कहीं ना कहीं मेरे को सपोर्ट मिलेगा। और एक समय आया 2021 का कि और ये दिवाली का समय था और मेरी वाइफ को जो है प्रॉब्लम हुई और उसको मेरे को हॉस्पिटलाइज करना पड़ा। जैसा कि मैंने सुना करता था कि भाई डॉक्टर भगवान का रूप होते हैं, लेकिन यहाँ पे मैंने महसूस किया कि एक इंश्योरेंस एडवाइज़र भी भगवान का रूप होता है, क्योंकि मैंने दुर्गा प्रसाद त्रिपाठी जी को जब कॉल किया तो वो मेरे को हॉस्पिटल में मेरे साथ खड़े मिले। क्योंकि दिवाली का समय था, कोई भी अपने बच्चे और परिवार को छोड़ता नहीं है, लेकिन मेरे ये दोस्त, मेरे साथी ये वहाँ पे अवेलेबल रहे और हमारा क्लेम जो है प्रोसेस कराया गया। जैसा कि नीवा बुपा हमेशा कहती है कि 30 मिनट में क्लेम का अप्रूवल आपका आ जाता है, लेकिन यहाँ तो मैं शॉक्ड रह गया। 30 मिनट तो दूर की बात है, 15 मिनट में ही जो क्लेम का प्रोसेस हो गया, क्लेम का अप्रूवल आ गया। मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई और मैं थैंक्स कहना चाहूँगा नीवा बुपा को, नीवा बुपा के मैनेजमेंट को और दुर्गा प्रसाद त्रिपाठी जी को। धन्यवाद।
That was very moving. But let me come back to the subject and ask, what is your closure percentage of customer leads generated through referrals? And why is this higher than the other sources? Yoginder ji, ये वाला question आपके लिए है.
I would say that our closure conversion to business is close to 90% of the referrals. And since we are primarily doing only referrals, it's very difficult for me to judge and say as comparison to other sources. because we have not had the time beyond dealing with referrals to tap any other source.
Sure. And I'm sure, this is a very important thing which you said, that you most of the time deal with reference, so you do not know. But normally, what we have seen is, if you meet 10 customers, you may probably get 2 out of it if it's non-reference. Cold calling is even lesser. But you're saying, 90% is a very high percentage of closure when it is about, a referral customer. Let me now move on to my very important subject of the day. Actually, मेरे को लगता है सबसे ज़्यादा जो most important है ना, हमने कह दिया referral important है, referral से conversion अच्छी होती है, referral business अच्छा होता है, पर भाई ये सब तो ठीक है, referral बनाएंगे कैसे, referral मांगेंगे कैसे? मैं बहुत बार, मुझे तो लगता है कि कई बार हमें शर्म आती है reference मांगने से. I think what people want to know is your reason. Your mantra of how you have been so successful in asking for a referral and how do you generate that. तो हमें आपकी स्टोरी समझनी है, कैसे आप क्या ट्रिक्स क्या देना चाहेंगे सबको. And we'll go this question I'll ask everyone. योगेंद्र जी, क्योंकि आप स्क्रीन में हैं ऑलरेडी, आपसे पहले पूछते हैं कि आपका मंत्रा क्या है, आपकी ट्रिक क्या है कि सारे आपको रेफरेंस मिलते रहते हैं और आप कभी मांगते भी कम है. आप पहले तो कभी ना कभी तो मांगते होंगे, आज अपने आप आ रहे हैं, पर पहले मांगते भी होंगे, कुछ तो करते होंगे, whereby you have got so much reference.
So one of the first things we've tried to do is, whenever I've heard someone mention some sob story related to claims handling or servicing issue that someone is facing with any of the companies, I immediately volunteer our services without any charges and without any expectation of them to shift business. So we've assisted people in claims guidance. We've assisted people with their regular, some kind of an endorsement requirement or whatever. And that itself converts into a referral. So that is a first stepping stone that we use.
Let me now go to Gokul. Gokul, kuch bataye, how do you get referrals? Actually, a lot of people want to know about this. कि यार ये रेफरेंस तो पता है, मुझे भी पता है, रेफरेंस से सबसे ज्यादा कन्वर्जन होता है, बट हाउ डू यू जनरेट and get more references?
We have two types of referrals in BNI, which is, first is a transactional referral, the other is a relationship referral. Okay, a transactional referral is where one time one person will give business and that is the end of it. I mean, you may not get business from that person. But relationship referral is where you can develop relations. I am a certified financial planner, but I'm not a chartered accountant. I'm not an HR. I'm not an admin manager. But if I have people in that field, automatically what happens? I give him business, he gives me business. That is a relationship reference. And then there are 8 different categories from where you can get referrals. The first category is satisfied customers. Next is people in your contact sphere. So on contact sphere, I can take a full 1 hour, lecture. Then people whose business benefits from yours, from my insurance business. Others with whom you do business. Staff members. When I say staff members, you might think, Arey, what? He's working for Niva Bupa. Why people will buy from Niva Bupa only? No. Staff members from other insurance companies. I have some of the big post holders from HDFC Ergo Star having Niva Bupa policy. Because they get referred. He's saying, why don't you come and join me? I said, sir, no. I want to be faithful to a company which listens to me. Okay? They take me in part of everything, like how today I am part of it. So he says, really? So what is so good about Reassure 2.0? I will sit the half a day and explain to him. Then he will say, Arey, mere ko bhi ek de do. Then people with whom you have given referrals to, are they not obligated to give you? Yes. Then people with whom you have given who have given you referrals, and from where you have taken referrals. 7th one. 8th one is from other members of business and referral groups, because I go to every group meeting. I might have my own BNI meeting, but what I do is when the other people have in some other hotel, I'll wear the badge and all and go, not for the meeting. I cannot go because BNI is not allowed. But what I do is I go when they have their breakfast and they come out, that time I meet people of my own category and other category also, because everybody does business. How Subramanian does business is different from how Yogendra does business and how I do business. But if actually we three of us join together, we can actually, exchange referrals. I get 60% in BNI from my own category, that is insurance. Because everybody doesn't do Niva Bupa. So I catch people who don't do Niva Bupa and tell them, see, this is what I have. I don't do star. If somebody asks star, I'll give you. Something like that, give and take. So this way, believe it or not, you can sit, you don't need to have any cold calls. People will go on asking you, they'll send you date of birth and say, give me quotation, give me quotation, give me quotation, give me quotation. Every quarter I have, Ankur sir, a pipeline of 32 lakhs, minimum 40 lakh rupees I have for a quarter.
Wow.
So what happens, and I will show you when I meet you next time, the Excel sheet I have, which on my phone. I change the color of that person's name depending on how many phone calls I have made, and so that I'll know when to whom to contact and whom not to contact. So thank you for the time, sir. I maybe took too much time. I'm very sorry.
Very insightful. And let me now go to Mr. Subramam. One of the things which we have been talking about is referral from the customers or the people we know. But I have joined insurance industry a few days back. My natural market is 5, 7, 10 people. So Mr. Subramam, if my natural market is very small, how do I create so many referrals? What is the start point? मैं start कैसे करूँ? Is what I want to understand from you.
सबसे पहले ना, we should never hesitate in asking people for references. Most of the people, they hesitate to ask. वो सोचते हैं कि मेरे को देगा नहीं because I have no connection. It's a mindset actually. It's a mindset. तो क्या कि अपने आप, when you go and meet people, there are good people in the market. Everybody is not bad. Everybody is not good. But अपने आप भगवान जो है ना link करता है sir. Automatically you are linked to the right person. Under passion is very important. In this business, the passion is very important. See, yeah, initially I used to have a very tough time because I left my government job. Everybody, सबने मेरे को बोला तू पागल है, pensionable job छोड़ दिया. But I made it a point to work at least 15 hours a day. Discipline. 9 o'clock means 9 o'clock. That discipline only helped slowly. I built good families. Mukul Rothgi's father's 80th birthday. So Mukul had asked, "Aapka aaj wish kya hai?" So he said, Subaraman and Gomati should come for lunch. So we went. And I was introduced to all the top lawyers of the India. India के सारे top lawyers को उसने खाली एक word बोला उनके father ने, Subaraman is a man of very high integrity. वो क्या Fally, Nariman, KK, Venugopal, सबको मेरे को without any this thing, within half an hour I was introduced. So I got reference. A CEO will give me a reference of a CEO. A CFO will give me a reference of CFO. That's a big advantage. You need to be fair to people. जो भी हम करते हैं, highest transparency is very important. And especially in health insurance, what are the things not covered? If you explain to them correctly, if they are happy, they will put me on to so many people. Sky is the limit.
No, excellent. Thank you for sharing that. And the last word, sky is the limit, when you talk about the referrals. And, I'll also share 2 stories. One of it is about even in a cold call, how can you add a referral? I was standing outside my home. I'm constructing my home. And suddenly there was one lady who came in who wanted to sell stone, which is a marble. And I didn't know her, but since I was in need of a marble, I spoke to her. Then immediately what she said is, sir, आपके घर के 2 घर छोड़ के हमने दिया है ये वाला सामान, आप इनसे, ये चौधरी जी हैं, इनसे बात कर लीजिए. So in a cold call also, she got a referral into it, saying that, and that's where my confidence level went up. Otherwise, मैं कहाँ उससे बात भी करता. But since she introduced a referral in between, that is the time it clicked, and today I have bought that thing from her. So that's the power of a referral, as all of us are talking. And again, one
more experience I would like to share. Actually, during the initial days, I used to do cold call in Connaught Place. I used to go to one building. If there are 16 floors, I will every day go to the same building, go to the 16th floor first, then to the 15th floor, then to the 14th floor. Like that I used to come. One day I came to the 5th floor. Barclays Bank was there. So there was a board saying salespeople not allowed. But I knocked and I went inside. So the branch manager told me, "Aapne dekha nahi kya laga hoga? Get out." बोला. मैंने बोला, "Sir, sorry. I know that I can't come, but can I have your name and number?" See, the tolerance is very important. I was not upset. So मैंने उनसे बोला, sir, can I have your name and address? Tomorrow I'll give you a call, take appointment and come. Today is one of my best client. He comes to my house and tells my wife, Subaraman को मैंने get out बोला था.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. And somebody spoke about referrals. Kaise we really, it's a chain of referrals. I remember one of my ex-CEO called me up saying that is bande ka insurance karna hai. And then I gave it to one of my advisor and introduced my ex-CEO to that advisor. So I met my advisor a few days back and he said that sir उन्होंने मुझे 6 रेफरेंस दे दिए इस वक्त. मतलब एक तो उस दिन दिया था, उसके बाद 5 और रेफरेंस दे दिए. That's how the chain, one reference is not just about one reference, it is a chain of references which it gets in, as somebody was talking about. So let me now get on to my...
One more thing. Yeah. We should take care of their families. The entire family should be involved. You should get in touch with their wife, children, because I've got 3 generations now. Some families, I have 3 generations. I used to do for the grandfather, then son, now the grandson. Now they have children. So क्या होता है सर, उनके हर दुख सुख में हमें रहना चाहिए.
Sure. Gokul, yes, go ahead.
One of the guys who was doing mutual funds called Mr. Gagandeep Handa, he gave me one referral to one Mr. Vinit Tandon. He is a venture capitalist who was working for a big, finance company. He gave me a reference to Mr. Rohit Batla. But Batla, I remember, but Rohit Batla was Batla Aluminum, owner I did not know. So he called me. And mind you, he has done his homework so well about Niva Bupa. At that time it was Max Bupa. That when I went and explained to him, he says, what a guy you are, yaar. Tum in between lines also bata raha hai. I bola, sir, in between lines bhi batana hai, sir. You must tell you what are the, shortcomings, do's and don'ts of insurance also. Otherwise, what is the use? I know, I like your truthfulness. Sir, from that day, I have gone to tier 45. Like Subramanian said, I got so much referrals from one person. But here, he has given me tier 45. When I say tier 45, from him, the other person. Believe it, the 5th person does not know the 3rd person. Because everybody is not everybody's friend, right?
Yeah.
Now I have made that into a group. So now the 45th person knows the 1st person. And excellent. They have put me into all, Skoda group, then Volvo group, like they have their cars and motorbike groups, I am there, but I am not active. I just am there. They've introduced me. See, anything you want to do with insurance, call him.
Excellent.
So sitting down in one place, I get car insurance. I have even got a chartered flight which is parked in Bangalore airport, for which I am providing insurance. I am not getting much paid. You don't get paid much for it. But that is the way, I am connected with a lot of people through referrals.
Thank you, Gokul. It was quite, insightful in getting that information. But now let me get into a different question and a second question. बहुत बार हम बोलते हैं कि, while I have sold it, I will take a referral. But वो तो once in a time होगा, once in a year होगा health insurance में, उसके बाद कब होगा? So Yogendra ji, now my next question is to you. आप पूरे साल भी क्या और भी engagement करते हैं उनके साथ so that you are able to generate referrals, and what exactly you ask?
So like one of the colleagues just had mentioned, so खुशी के और दुख के time के अलावा we track birthdays of the entire family, and usually I find intermediaries getting in touch with the main person, उनका birthday हुआ या उनका anniversary हुआ. But one forgets the spouse and the children. So we do connect with the person at all such occasions, and on other milestones also. So I have a fairly large network. People generally ignore service officers. So they feel कि उनसे कोई scope नहीं मिलता. So you'll be surprised to know that the current army chief is my client, and I started working with him when he was a brigadier. And today we have 22 serving lieutenant generals who are our clients. This is the power of referral. Mostly I travel anywhere in the country if I want. You get better accommodation than 5 stars at 500 rupees a day. Their guest room number 1s are fantastic. So another thing I've learned is always, like someone had mentioned earlier, to thank the person back. So any nature of work, any referral given by someone, whether it is converted to business or not only just we thank the person giving the referral, but also assure him that he will be looked after better than what services we are giving the person providing the reference. That gives a lot of confidence, because what I tell him is, it will not be my word which will be let down. It will not be your word which will be let down.
Thank you, Yogendra ji, for what you had mentioned. And what I'm understanding and from all of you is, referral एक मिलता है ना, तो उसके बाद उसकी पूरी चेन भी मिल जाती है आपको. तो आपने बोला ब्रिगेडियर्स, तो उसकी पूरी आर्मी और उस तरफ की सारी चेन, 22 पीपल आर विद यू. somebody spoke about something else. looks like कि जैसे एक बंदा, अगर आपने किसी एक कम्युनिटी का, एक टाइप ऑफ पीपल का एक बंदा डॉक्टर ले लिया, तो उसके आसपास के 10-15 डॉक्टर आपको मिल जाते हैं. somebody spoke about a company, जिसने ये बताया एक कंपनी में एक बंदा मिल गया, उसके बाद उस कंपनी के सारे लोगों ने बोलना शुरू कर दिया that you get reference and you get a lot of customers from there. So next question, my next question is to Mr. Subaraman. Subaraman, do you get reference from existing customers or you get referrals from others as well?
We get from others also. See, they are not our customers at all. They are called the center of influence. See, when I go to a temple, the president of the temple he knows a lot of devotees. He may be very old, but he will put me on to a lot of people. They got the center of influence. They are very influential. That's like a church father. If you know the father, वो जितने लोग भी आते हैं सबको introduce कराता है. He may not be in a situation to take, but he will refer me to a lot of people.
Thank you very much, Subramanian. चलिए मैं next पूछता हूँ योगेंद्र जी से. योगेंद्र जी, बहुत बारी क्या होता है कि हैप्पी कस्टमर जो होते हैं उनसे तो हम इजीली रेफरेंस मांग लेते हैं, बिकॉज हमें लगता है हमने उनको अच्छी सर्विस दी है, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. बट बहुत बार हम इंश्योरेंस इंडस्ट्री में कोई ना कोई ऐसे कस्टमर भी होते हैं जिनको हमें सर्विस पूरी नहीं दे पाते, या इंश्योरेंस कंपनी पूरी तरह उसका क्लेम सेटल नहीं कर पाती. कुछ ना कुछ जरूर होता है कि हमारे पास अनहैप्पी कस्टमर आ जाते होते हैं हमारे साथ. क्या आप उनसे भी रेफरल मांग पाते हैं?
जी बिल्कुल. I'll share quickly 2 incidents which have happened. One was within the first 3 months of our starting the insurance journey. There was a client who had a 30 lakh rupees fire claim. And for some technical error on the part of the surveyor, the claim was not paid by the insurance company. You will be surprised that despite such a large claim not being paid, his entire business continues to be with us since that day till today. And with the kind of support we gave him till the claim got settled in his favor, whether it was through ombudsman or consumer forum, he has been quoting that example and telling people that this is the kind of support I get from him. And similar thing happened which involved Niva Bupa. For some misrepresentation by the hospital, a claim of a client got turned down, which was fairly substantial, and he was certainly annoyed. But the perseverance which we had, and it got paid under reimbursement after it was established that the error was by the hospital's part and not on the client's part, and it was unintentional. Niva Bupa, that time Max Bupa, honored that particular claim. He continues to give that as an example that this is the support I got from these people, and each of those referrals flow. And such kind of a dissatisfied customer, when he gives a referral, it is stronger than a satisfied customer's referral.
Correct. Thank you. No, thank you very much. In fact, बहुत अच्छी बात बोली आपने कि the key is unhappy customer को कैसे हम we satisfy him, and if we are able to satisfy him, then you get a lot of referrals from him as well. But I must say that all of you have shared a lot of insightful things which will be very helpful for all our advisors who have joined today. I'm so very happy that we were able to, I'm sure we have able to add a lot of new mantras to their life which they can really use to increase their business. And just to look at what all we spoke about is referral is not a very difficult thing. It's to ensure that referral हमें मांगने हैं. रेफरल जरूरी नहीं है कि सिर्फ एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर से मांग सकते हैं, रेफरल किसी से भी मांग सकते हैं. कहीं पे भी हमें इनफैक्ट कोल्ड कॉलिंग में भी रेफरल को कैसे हम यूज कर सकें is also another thing which you have spoken about. One of the things some of you mentioned is कि referral is a cycle which says it's a chain which says कि अगर एक से मिला तो एक दूसरे को देता है, दूसरा तीसरे को, तीसरा चौथे को. And fifth thing which one of you mentioned is रेफरल का जो कन्वर्जन रेट होता है वो 90% के करीब होता है, 80-90% के करीब होता है. और कोल्ड कॉल का आई एम श्योर सबको पता है 10-20% ज्यादा रेफरल का वो नहीं होता. आई एम श्योर ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स would have added a lot onto you, and thank you all my 3 panelists, and thank you all the people, thousands of advisors who have joined today. I'm sure हम लोगों ने कुछ value add किया होगा. Mr. Yogendra, Mr. Subaraman, Mr. Gokul, all of you shared your stories. Those were very insightful. I'm sure जितने भी advisor आज हमारे साथ आए हुए हैं, they would have learned a lot today, because बहुत बार होता है हमें लगता है हमें सब कुछ आता है, बट बहुत बार when you know really understand from the real people, जो लोग real stories हैं, जिनकी जो मार्केट में घूम के जो सक्सेसफुल हुए हैं, उनकी स्टोरी सुन के I think that becomes very, very powerful. And all 3 of you have really shared your stories. I am very thankful to all of you, and I am also thankful to all the people who have joined. I'm sure हमने आज कुछ आपकी हेल्प की होगी, इसकी वजह से आपका बिजनेस बड़ा होगा, डबल होगा, 3 गुना होगा, 5 गुना होगा, 10 गुना भी होगा. With that note, let me thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
I'm sure आप लोगों ने आज बहुत कुछ सीखा होगा, बहुत सारी लर्निंग्स मिली होगी in terms of how do we generate more referrals. हमने भी apart from giving you all of this insights, एक और चीज की है, बहुत शानदार चीज की है. हम आज एक लॉन्च कर रहे हैं रेफरल मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम, जो आपके ऊनो पे लर्न एंड ग्रो सेक्शन के अंदर आ चुका है, which will help you to generate a lot of leads for yourselves. तो उसके लिए हमने क्या किया है, एक वीडियो बनाया छोटा सा. Please watch this video now, और उसके बाद use this referral management system to generate lot of leads and become Niva Bupa promoters. Thank you very much.